Almost 2 years ago to the day, the Los Angeles Lakers were celebrating one of the strangest NBA titles ever in the bubble with no fans against the Miami Heat. And now 2 years later, they are sitting at home or in Cancun enjoying life. But either way, for the Lakers, the future is not looking bright and there were so many things that went wrong. In this video, I'm going to break down everything that went wrong for the Lakers over the last 2 seasons and what they need to do to turn things around. So before I begin this video, I would appreciate all of your guys' support. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and comment below what videos you want to see me make next. If you follow my channel, you know I took a break from making videos like this and I've just been making reaction videos. Well, I'm getting back into this and I will still be posting those videos too. So once again, I really do appreciate the support you guys give me so much. So starting off, we have to go all the way back to the 2020 offseason after they just won an NBA title. Honestly, this wasn't a bad offseason at all, but it was really just the start to their downfall. They were able to bring back guys like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, they traded to get Dennis Schroeder, they got rid of guys like Danny Green, Dwight Howard, and Rondo. They moved a few picks, and they really set themselves up for what they thought would be another championship run in 2021. The Dennis Schroeder trade, like the Westbrook trade, was meant to take some of the load off of LeBron and AD without paying him superstar money. The Lakers also brought in Montrezl Harrell, who is a solid active center, but the problem was they made so many small changes to their roster after a championship that it was almost like a completely new team the next year. Usually after winning a championship, most teams would run it back with nearly the same roster, but that was not the case for the Lakers. They let go of some of their veterans like Danny Green and Rondo, and in hindsight they probably shouldn't have done that. So really the main problem from this offseason was not keeping the championship chemistry together. Either way, the things they did in the offseason ended up panning out for them early on in the 2021 season. They even had a record as good as 21-6. But then we all know what happened next. Since they were one of the oldest teams in the league, they started to wear down and injuries got to them. After the All-Star break, they were only about a 500 basketball team, and things were starting to go downhill. Anthony Davis ended up getting hurt in the first round series against the Phoenix Suns, and they ended up being completely outmatched talent-wise, and LeBron was getting too old to carry a team of nobodies to the finals. So now the Lakers were headed into another offseason full of uncertainty. The only bright spot was that they still had a championship core. They just had unlucky injuries, of course, but it was time to make some key decisions for guys like Alex Caruso, Dennis Schroeder, and Montrezl Harrell. Again, they still had a championship roster, but then they made the move that would cost them for years to come. When the Lakers traded for Russell Westbrook, it looked like a good move at the time, but many people, including myself, could see how this didn't fit and was not gonna work. Westbrook was on a huge contract, so that by itself pretty much completed what the Lakers would be able to do for the offseason. Now the Lakers were left with an old big three and absolutely no bench at all. The reason this trade made no sense to me is because this was a panic trade in a time when they still had a good team. Usually a trade like this only happens when something isn't working and there is desperation to change. On top of this, the Lakers made a wrong decision with pretty much every single player left on their roster. And this finished one of the worst off seasons in NBA history. They prioritized Talen Horton-Tucker over Alex Caruso and Dennis Schroeder, and they gave him a 3-year deal worth about $30 million. This move made no sense because Horton-Tucker still hadn't proved himself as a reliable player, and they let go of guys who actually played. To make things worse, Alex Caruso, a guy that actually played meaningful minutes, was let go and he never even wanted to leave. So even though in the end getting Westbrook would finally take some of the load off of LeBron and AD's shoulders, the problem with this trio is that they did not fit together at all, and everyone could see it coming. Westbrook is a ball-dominant guard that is very effective in transition, while LeBron is more laid back and likes to pick apart his opponent throughout the game. So basically, the Lakers ended up with an old guard who was struggling to find his confidence and was unable to shoot the ball to save his life. On top of that, he pretty much had the worst contract in the entire NBA. The other part of this deal that screwed the Lakers is that they had to give up solid players like Kyle Kuzma and Caldwell-Pope. So like I was saying earlier, they were literally left with 3-star players and nothing else. Now in terms of what they can do to fix their future, the answer is really nothing. They're gonna have to wait out the Westbrook contract and wait for LeBron to leave or retire. Then they're gonna have to trade Anthony Davis. Then they can start a full-blown rebuild. But the problem is, they don't own many picks for the next 5 years, so they are really screwed. Maybe somehow the Lakers can turn things around and stay healthy this upcoming season, but things are not looking good and they probably will end up missing the playoffs again. That's going to be the end of this video. Let me know in the comments below what you want to see me make next. Thank you all for watching, and of course, as always, I'll see you in the next one.